Hey everybody, it's John with Lake Erie Chestnuts. Gonna start potting up some seeds here, getting them ready. I guess potting up, I'm gonna stratify them, put them in some peat moss like I've done every year for the last 5 or 6 years. This is the container I use. This is from Walmart. It's called a Sterilite sweater boxes. They're 16 and 7/8 inches long, 11.5 inches wide, 5 and 7/8 inches high. They come at value pack set of 4. They've worked well. I use the lids interchangeably, and then along the edge, right, what I planted that year, or I use some painter's tape for that. So you can see this one still contains some English walnuts that didn't sprout, but you know, of course, I did get a whole bunch of them to sprout. So we'll get through the process here. First thing I'll do is just throw all this away. I'll throw this into a bigger container, and then I'll throw this out into the garden. Now it's important to wash these. I use soap and water, and then I'll use a weak bleach solution. Purpose of the weak bleach solution, the purpose of the weak bleach solution is to kill off all the old remaining fungus that could remain from previous years growing these. You know, that fungus and mold is one of the biggest enemies of cold stratifying seeds. All right, I just do a very weak bleach solution. Just using a regular little bit of bleach. I'm not super scientific, but I'm saying just a little bit goes a long ways. And then I'll run it from one to the next. Yeah, maybe there's cross-contamination there, but I've already washed them all out, soap and water. Now we're adding bleach. I think that's going to be okay. Dry them thoroughly. Get a little cup of coffee. It's early on a Saturday morning. We have a battle in this house. I prefer coffee from the Keurig, which you can see on the right. My wife likes the coffee from the Nespresso. I like it from the Nespresso occasionally. It does a great job of making a frothy coffee, something like you might get from a Starbucks. But the Keurig makes a good cup of coffee. I'm just going to show you the little kitten knocked off one of my chestnuts down there. This is Nuggy, or I call him Grey Goose. So I got to pick up that chestnut. He knocked it down. It's one of those from the Ching. Pretty nice looking nut. back to drying. Maybe I'll put this on some time lapse so you don't have to watch all this. I have a perforated bag. And these are very good looking nuts. These are really big. Really nice. The shiny ones on the right are from my orchard. Of course, they've been in the fridge and somewhat moist. These are half again as big. They're just much bigger. But just beautiful. The next step is going to be getting the peat moss ready. This peat moss you can buy at Lowe's or Home Depot. This is Premier Sphagnum peat moss. I'm rocking the old fleece sweats. Should have went hunting this morning to protect my orchard, but my boy had a football game last night, got to bed late. Perfect weather for hunting, getting old Big Louie and make him pay for his crimes against my trees, but I chose sleep and chestnuts. All right, we'll bring you over to the sink. This is where you get this. It's initially pretty hydrophobic. It doesn't like water. It just kind of floats away. Get you in more tight on that. I use warmer water. I feel like it works better. You can see it just kind of floats, but you kind of run it around. Eventually it'll kind of start accepting the water. But again, the goal is to keep the nut moist but not wet. If it gets too wet, then that's when you start running into your molding issues, which you will have some of that no matter what. Now you can see it's starting to get more of the moisture accepted. I'm gonna add just a little more to this mix rather than squeezing the water out, because I know I have several containers to do this in. And this, again, the moss has some sort of anti-fungus mold properties. I always say you want to squeeze it so that when you squeeze it, a couple drops come out. So this is just a little too moist. So I'm going to add a little more. This is pretty good. Still a little crumbly. When I squeeze it as hard as I can get a couple drops out. Kind of funny. I look at the dates on these. 10/26, 2020, 10/28, 2019. I see 10/25, 2019. So kind of funny to see the year's progression. Yeah, what we do is take a small layer of these, this peat moss. Nice little bed of peat moss for the nuts to go into. I'm very excited about these seeds. I'm excited to see how the Hong Kong and the Jersey Gem, I think they were. I don't think they were Jersey Giant. I think that's asparagus. Jersey Gem. Okay, so I pat that kind of firm. And then I'm gonna start planting some of these seeds. I lay them on their flat side down. You see that? Yeah, we'll go to time-lapse mode here. All right, we've reached the phase. I've got 28 in 3 different layers. So quick math says that's 84. You can check my math. And we'll cover this one up, and that will be the end of the ching that I plant. The rest I'm going to eat. Then we have more coming in the coming days. Well, I'm going to plant my own, I guess, today. For my own King Ching seedling, I'm just going to put them in a bag rather than use a whole box for that. Of course, I don't know the pollen parent of either of these trees or any of these seeds. These are open pollinated, but Hark has, from what I've read, really good seed trees, so should translate to really good seedlings. So these I'm just putting in, and then I'll mix them up to get them all covered by a little dirt. These will fit smoother into the fridge, and I'll perforate a couple holes just to allow it to breathe a little. Using the chopstick to perforate this thing. Well, we got our first seeds all put into the little boxes to do their cold stratification. We have another 5 or 10 pounds coming from Chestnut Ridge of Pike County. And we got some more seedlings that I started this spring that you need to go into the garden to weather through the winter, and then we'll get them sold out to whoever wants them or planted out in the orchard. So thanks for following me here, and remember, Lake Erie chestnuts, if you're not growing, you're dying.